Dane County Communications.
Hi there. I was supposed to call to make a report.
Okay. And what's the address that you're calling from?
Road in Monona, Wisconsin.
Okay. Can you just repeat that address one more time for me, please?
Road.
Monona.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the phone number that you're calling from? What is your name? Do you need to file a report for?
Well, last night somebody tried to set me on fire downtown. And so, I was at the ER all night and they told me I needed to call today.
Okay. And where did that occur?
I was at a cross street with State Street, and I was trying to get to university, but I'm having trouble remembering where it was.
You don't know whereabouts on State Street?
I was just crossing State Street. I'm pretty sure it was by, like, Los Guasmelos, which is...
What?
I drove... it's a Mexican restaurant called Los Guasmelos. It's on, like, the corner of State Street and a cross street. But otherwise yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not really remembering because it happened really fast.
Okay. And let's see. Okay. So someone tried to start you on fire, you said?
Yeah, I was driving in my car to Middleton, and I heard, like, a group of people yell the N-word, and I turned my head, and they threw lighter fluid at me, and then threw a, like, match or lighter at me.
And you went to the hospital?
Yeah, I was at UW ER.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about Althea Bernstein. She was a victim, allegedly a victim, of a vicious hate crime by these little dick white incel warriors. And it was horrible, and they burned her. It's a modern-day lynching. Of course, none of this happened. This is fucking bullshit. And I'm going to explain why this is bullshit. So we just listened to that clip. Now, there's a reason she was... Here's the thing. This girl is not stupid. I mean, she's going to get caught, so she's stupid for that reason, but she's very sophisticated in the execution of this hoax hate crime. So let's just go ahead and dive into these articles here. So the family of Althea Bernstein provide update week after alleged hate crime. So the family of the biracial African woman who said she was attacked by a group of men who sprayed lighter fluid at her and lit her on fire released a statement Wednesday morning. So we appreciate the overwhelming outpouring of support that Althea is receiving from friends, family, and neighbors, and others from near and far. And the statement also read, as you can imagine, this has been a traumatic experience physically, mentally, and emotionally for Althea. Our family is still asking for privacy at this time so that Althea may focus on healing. And then, of course, this is what really kind of gets my spidey senses tingling. So the family asks for thoughts and prayers from the community for Althea's healing and the collective wounds of our society whose history of ongoing racial inequality has come to the forefront in recent years. Bullshit. All right, so here's the thing. So what Althea Bernstein did was she inserted doubt. She injected doubt into her own story. And that's like a rope, right? That's a safe line. That's a life raft. And she's going to use that to pull herself out of a very sticky situation, and that situation being an interview with detectives or FBI agents who are assigned to this case and that are tasked with solving it. And they are going to solve it. This is clearly a self-inflicted hate crime. used or perpetrated specifically to stoke racial animus towards white individuals, white Americans, and most specifically white males. Given everything that is going on in the country as I'm making this video right now in 2020, there have been ongoing violent race riots perpetrated at the hands of violent murderous Black Lives Matter activist thugs. Oh, that's a mouthful. But this is what's going on, guys. I mean, and then the doubt, because it's going to happen. They're going to interview her, and so think about it like this. She's going to be like, oh, well, they're like, okay, so where exactly did this occur? And you heard her. Oh, I don't remember. I can tell you where I was going. Well, that's not what they asked you, sweetheart. That's not what they're asking you. She's like, oh, maybe there was like a Mexican restaurant over here. Maybe this was over there, blah, blah, blah. And the funny thing is that they're like, per her story, there should be DNA evidence at the crime scene. But the device used, a match or a lighter, very vague. It's probably gone by now. Unless they found it, which I doubt because this is bullshit. They didn't find it. I know they didn't find it. And then, also the traffic lights, they usually have cameras mounted on top or within the lights themselves. And it captures a lot of, things that happen on the street, they use that information for future investigations, blah, blah, blah. And, it's going to be very useful in solving this crime. But again, now she's sowing doubt. So it's going to be a little more challenging. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to solve this crime. And then also the businesses, she alluded to some Mexican restaurant. They have surveillance cameras. Where exactly did this take place again? Exactly. They can canvass the neighborhood, and they can, hopefully have individuals cooperate with law enforcement in solving the hate crime. And, a lot of times, businesses do hand over, surveillance video to police in situations like this. So all of this takes time. Believe me, she's going to get caught. She's going to get caught, but she's not dumb. This is very, very sophisticated. So a biracial woman says she was set on fire in Wisconsin. Authorities are now investigating the incident as a hate crime. So the interesting thing about these burns, here's the thing. I wanted to wait till later to say this, but I'll just say this right now. I'm actually qualified to speak on matters pertaining to injuries like this. I'm very, very familiar with these types of things. I don't want to dox myself. I don't want to get too into it, but I'm familiar with seeing actual burn victims. I'm familiar with seeing evidence of people who have genuinely been recipients of this type of violence. Maybe not related to hate crimes in general, but other types of crimes. But here's the thing. Here's what I see, professionally speaking. These burns on her face, they suggest to me that there was hesitancy. These do not suggest that this was perpetrated by another individual, that there was lighter fluid sprayed on her face and then it was lit on fire by a match or a lighter. You would see a much more sporadic pattern on her face. The distance between these marks, again, I guess she thought it was clever, but it's not. It honestly suggests to me that these are self-inflicted wounds. I am willing to wager fat fucking cash that these are self-inflicted wounds. And in another image, it looks like this is the other side of her face. Look at this. This is one side of the face. It's the other side of the face. I mean, am I looking at this right? Or maybe they inverted the image. I'm not really sure what they're doing here. And the burns on this side of the face don't look like that. Very peculiar. I mean, was she looking at the spooky white little dick incel warriors when this happened? It's not entirely clear. So... this is Althea Bernstein, guys. This is Althea Bernstein. This just obviously did not occur at all. But there's a reason why people like her do this kind of stuff. A lot of the times, like, these people are losers. They don't have that many friends. They ain't got shit going for them. And but doing this, you get a lot of media attention. You get on Good Morning America. Ellen DeGeneres, she comes out and kisses your ass along with Oprah. You got all these pedophile celebrities coming out of the woodwork to like kiss your ass and call you and see how you're doing and say how brave and amazing you are. Like, you're so brave. Oh my God, you're so brave. Fuck Trump, right? This is all Trump's fault. I can't believe, everyone has, people like you have to go through this because of Trump. You got Meghan Merkel calling you up. Like, this is a big deal for her. She's never received this kind of attention. Just look at her. And she's like, oh, I've been crying all night. I can't sleep. I lost my appetite. Sweetheart, you lost your appetite? Really? You lost your appetite. Who you kidding? Who are you kidding, girl? Goodness. But it gets worse. So now the family is saying little about the investigation of alleged hate crime. You don't say. So Althea Bernstein, 18, of Monona, Wisconsin, told police she was stopped at a stoplight, possibly on West Wareham Street at State Street, at around 1 a.m. on June 24th when she was approached by 4 white men, one of whom yelled a racial epithet. One of the men allegedly sprayed her with lighter fluid through her open driver's side window and then threw a lit lighter or match at her, setting her face and neck on fire before she patted out the flames. She described the men as looking like frat boys. So they probably look like Nicholas Sandman, right? That evil racist. So 2 of whom were wearing floral shirts. Oh, shit. It's the Boog Boys. The Boog Boys are involved, guys. This is it. The Boogaloo has started. So wearing floral shirts and blue jeans, and 2 of whom were in all black and wearing masks. Okay, so some of the violent little dick incel warriors are wearing masks and other ones are not. Doesn't make a lot of sense. The man who allegedly sprayed her was wearing a salmon-colored floral shirt, she told police. As for an update on the investigation, police spokesman Joel Despain on... Okay, so here, let me get this right. Okay, so you remember what they wore. They're Boog Boys, so they're wearing the floral Hawaiian shirts or wearing the floral designs. They got blue jeans. You remember that they were white, what they were wearing, but you don't remember where this occurred? Oh, man. Smells like bullshit. All right, so it continues. This is a super fucking interesting part of this. A spokeswoman for the Bernstein family, attorney Andrea Love Sumter, said law enforcement has been in regular communication with her and the family. I have advised the family against making statements during an ongoing investigation in order to avoid compromising the hard work of law enforcement officials, she said in an email. On Wednesday, she declined to answer questions about the investigation on behalf of the family. So this is one of the more recent updates. It was on July 14th. July 14th, eh? So let me ask this question here. If you're a legitimate victim of a crime, why would you need a lawyer? Why would you need a spokesperson? That's very, very interesting. I don't know what to make of that, guys. So if I get beat up, I report it to the police, and they end up doing their investigation. They find evidence, and those guys go to jail. And why do I need a lawyer? What? That doesn't sound right to me. Sounds like like they're anticipating some shit coming down on them, Well, but here's the thing. This received an insane amount of media attention. The FBI joins the investigation into possible Madison hate crime. So the FBI has been involved since last month, at the very, very end of last month. Like, sweetheart, you're gonna get caught. Yeah, you're sophisticated. I appreciate the good hustle, and all you do is give people like me fodder for my side of the political spectrum. And I'm able to effectively communicate to people why the modern left is fucking insane and evil. Because you guys do shit like this. You stoke racial animus. You're racist yourselves. And it's like, this is somebody who's very politically aware. She's proficient in the going-ons in the in the world, or specifically the United States, within our political paradigm shift. Blaming the Boog Boys, that's a good one. That's an easy one, man. I applaud her for that. Very original. But there's a lot of inconsistencies in her story. Again, the actual damage done to her face is pretty damning in my estimation. They should honestly get experts on burn victims down there. They probably did. I'm pretty sure they're covering their bases, because law enforcement, a lot of these guys aren't stupid. They'll pretend to be stupid. They'll pretend to not really know what's going on. A good cop will never let you know that they know you're full of shit. So they're probably playing along with it, and they had to get a lawyer. They probably sensed it. They're like, oh shit, I just got off the call with this detective, and I think things aren't going to go my way. So now they have a spokesperson to represent this fucking family. And again, it's just like the tall tale signs. You start injecting a call to action when you're a victim of a crime. You're trying to spread awareness about these evil little dick white incel warriors. You're trying to spread awareness about Trump. You're calling to action. Vote against Trump. Vote against racism, inequality, blah, blah, blah. What inequality has this fucking woman ever faced? She's well fed. She lives in the best country in the world. I don't know, you should fucking geek, dude. Like, all these people are fucking losers, and they're just desperate for attention, and they'll get it by being fucking racist themselves. I am willing to wager fat fucking money none of this ever happened. I'm gonna be right. My content ages like fine wine because I am generally right and correct about everything. I got to do another video calling out the amazing atheist because he wanted to call me a fucking idiot and shit because you know, I said some things about the George Floyd event and not wanting to really make a profound you know a very I didn't want to be certain in any statement one way or another. So he called me an idiot because I didn't, you know, start simping for Black Lives Matter the way he does. You know, it's just not how I roll. And now I've been vindicated because the transcripts of the event that took place that day when George Floyd passed has been released, and it's abundantly clear that things are a lot more complicated than they seem. But not in this case. Althea Brown is full of shit. So are all the morons that fell for it and that are promoting this ethos that white men, the group least likely to commit a violent crime against you, is being blamed for all these attacks, and a lot of them are bullshit. I'm sorry, guys. The evidence, the history does not support you, and you're gonna get caught. Like I'm just like, you guys get away with, you know, people like Althea Brown, they get away with a lot of shit. Or Althea Bernstein. I don't know why I keep calling her Althea Brown. I don't know Althea Brown, but Althea Bernstein, she thinks that, you know, she sees a lot of, you know, people like her getting away with shit, with all types of shit. But when you try to do stuff like this, you're not going to get away with it. Jussie Smollett couldn't get away with it. You're not going to get away with it either, sweetheart. Peace out.